Good morning, everyone. I want to bring you into the garden today and try to catch you up on what's been going on here. It's a very busy time of the year, and then we've been rushing trying to keep up with planting and maintaining and harvesting and preserving the harvest. But we've got a lot going on, and hopefully there's something here you can learn today, so I hope you'll come along with me. And if you have any suggestions or comments, I would love to hear from you. So let's get started. Today I want to share with you these 5 things. First, our grandson Jace caught another snake. Second, I'll have a demonstration of the beauty of no-till soil. Third, materials for a new compost pile. Fourth, our potato harvest. And fifth, a garden tour, so you can see the results of no-till and cover crops. You may be surprised. Jace, what kind of snake did you find this time?
Another rat snake.
Another rat snake. Oh my goodness.
He bit me too.
He bit you?
Yeah, on the thumb right there.
Oh my goodness. Let me see. Ooh. Did it hurt?
No, not really.
I'm out working in my garden this afternoon. This is about the 3rd week in June. It's the 23rd of June, and it's Friday, and we have had rain every day this week and some nights too. And I just want to show you what I'm working on now and how impressive this soil is. It was not tilled last year in this garden area here, and it has not been tilled this year, and I want to show you what good shape it's in. You can see how crumbly it is, how it's wet, very wet, but it's not sticky like clay normally is. I'm going to plant a row of green beans here beside this corn, and then another row of corn on this side of the green beans. And I've done the same thing over on this side of the garden, so I'll have 2 rows of sweet corn with green beans in the middle, and 2 rows of sweet corn here with green beans in the middle. So I try not to plant a monoculture because that's not natural. The natural world has a variety of plants in a given area. So I'm trying to get away from monocultures as much as I can because I know that's better for the plants and for the soil. The main idea here is that I want to impress upon you how good no-till is for your garden. You're not disturbing the microbes in the soil. You're not tearing up the mycorrhizal fungi soil web. You're not tearing up the earthworm tunnels. You're just not destroying your soil life. Plus the soil stays in a good condition. So I just want to impress upon you how beautifully no-till has worked for us since we've changed. This is the 2nd year, I think, the 2nd season we have been basically no-till in the garden. Before that, we used a lot of mulch and a lot of other techniques, and we managed, and we had nice gardens, but overall it did not work as well as the no-till garden. Today I have some great materials for building a compost pile to use this fall when I'm planting my fall plants and my strawberry plants for next spring. Okay, I have leaves, and I have comfrey, and I have goat manure from the goat pasture, and I have strawberry plants that it was time to take out of the garden. So today I'm building a compost pile. I've been digging potatoes, usually 5-gallon bucket a day, so I don't have to dig all of them at one time. And I've got about 8 or 10 boxes in the house already, and I've still got quite a bit to go, but I wanted to show you today how they were turning out. This is a Grand Duke potato, and I like that very much. It's got a really nice yellow flesh, and I grew these for the first time last year, and I saved some of the potatoes in my refrigerator over winter, and then I got them out in the springtime to plant. This plant's bigger than the other one was, so I think this is going to turn out better. Yeah, looks more like it. Not huge potatoes, but they are a lot of them usually in each hill. And the small ones like that I use to feed my pigs. There are some nice ones. So you can see how many potatoes came from one plant. That's really good. Lots of potatoes. Okay, now this is a Kennebec potato plant. It has a white flesh. They usually turn out good for me. You can see what we got from 2 yellow Grand Duke plants. Now add the Kennebec. Lot of nice potatoes. I like to grow enough to last us all winter. You can see how loose the soil is also here. And this soil has not been tilled this year or last year. Now this is one of my favorite potatoes. It is called blackberry, and it's the bluest potato that I have ever seen. I have grown some other blue ones before, but they're not this deep darker color. They usually don't get real big, but they're worth it. There's usually lots in the hill. And I like the deep dark color. You know, they tell us we should eat food with lots of color in it for nutrition. Well, little critter ate that one. The rest of it will be pig food. Okay, you can see that I still have approximately half of the potatoes still to be dug. It's a very busy time of the year trying to keep up with the garden and the harvesting and the preserving of the food, but I want to quickly walk you through the garden and show you what has grown and how we're doing here. This is the strawberry bed I had. I cleaned it out and I planted some sunflowers around the edge. And over on the far side you can see some cabbage. I moved over there to try to keep voles from getting it, and it's done well. And I planted 2 rows of green beans here on this side. I've got calendula and okra here. And you see the elderberries are blooming, and Cherokee purple tomatoes are producing here now. And I have a second planting of cucumbers and squash here, and the first planting of squash, and some more green beans. And peppers are growing here, and some calendula, and another second planting of squash. And you see the garden pond has lots of tadpoles in it now. So this is the first planting of cucumbers, and they're doing very well. I've made fermented dill pickles several times, and they're turning out really well. This is the bed where I had the onions and the garlic. I took them out, and now I've planted corn and some beans in here. Now we'll go up to this bed here. I planted some corn in this bed here on the end. It was a new variety for me, and it did not turn out well for me at all. It was called Atomic Orange, I think. And anyway, it's finished. I have fed it to the pigs. I hoed out the rows, and then I added some goat manure. Then I mixed that in with a hoe, and then I made a second planting of corn here, which is not ideal to have corn 2 times in a row, but we don't always have ideal circumstances, and I think it will work out fine anyway. These watermelon here I weeded this morning and moved them around some, so they look a little bit jostled right now, but they're okay. Here's a second planting of cantaloupe, a first planting of cantaloupe. Now I'll go over to the potato bed where I was digging potatoes earlier. And this is my first planting of green beans here. They've produced some really nice beans for me, but they're about to get finished up here. The plants are getting a little bit rough, but I've got some beans in there that I need to pick today, so I'll do that soon. Echinacea is blooming nicely by the pond, and the Health Kick tomatoes are just loaded with tomatoes now, just starting to ripen. And then we have the sweet potato bed here. It's coming along really nice. So far so good here. I want you to see all these tomatoes on these Health Kick plants. They always do well for me. They are the ones I like to can. So that pretty much gets this garden now. I've got some nice cabbage in this bed that I made to try to keep these plants away from the voles. So you can see how nice and big that one is. I plan to harvest that today to make cortado. And then we have a couple more around here that look good. It was planted a little bit too close in there, so some of them didn't get too big, but I do have some nice ones there. Now this is the area where we used to have a greenhouse, where I'm trying to deal with Bermuda grass that's right beside our garden. And you know, earlier I planted neck pumpkins in this area. They've grown quite a bit, but right now they're growing, but they don't look like they're really thriving. But I hope that's going to change. We'll see what happens with them. And this is the garden area in front of our house where last fall I planted a cover crop here, and I left it and let it die down in springtime. And then I planted these North Georgia candy roasters, which are a type of sweet potato pumpkin in here, and added a few sunflowers among that. So they're looking healthy and growing well right now. So I'll try to keep you updated on how that turns out also. I hope to have a lot of these to feed to the pigs and the not chickens, the pigs and the goats. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I hope you are having a good gardening season. Thanks for watching.